Yo, what is up guys? This is TiensiNoAkuma here with another Katarina game. As you can see here, I'm up mid against Pantheon. A lot of people have recently been asking me to upload a game where I play against specific counters like Pantheon, the Blanc, Riven, Lee Sin, whatnot. Basically hard counters to Katarina. I would like to upload those videos as often as possible, but the issue is, first of all, I rarely ever see a LeBlanc. I haven't seen one in about a month or two, and other counters to Katarina aren't really set mid, or they just aren't picked for some reason. Primary reason why you would never see a LeBlanc in a higher elo rank is just that she's not viable in a team. There's a lot of issues that LeBlanc has. First of all, she can't farm. Her farming power is ridiculously weak. So automatically she has to rely on picking up kills. If she can't pick up kills, then it's very difficult for her to farm, and she's going to be behind in the game already just by being LeBlanc herself. Second thing is the power that she has in a team fight. Against good players, she's very limited in team fights. First of all, she only does single target damage output, so she doesn't do much during team fights. She just targets one champion down, maybe kills them, and then she backs off, and she can't do anything for the next 10 seconds or 20 seconds. And on top of that, she's very squishy too. So against smart players who know how to handle LeBlanc, all they have to do is stay away from her, avoid getting killed by her burst. And as long as that happens, as long as they can avoid her burst, they can go back and destroy LeBlanc when her skills are on CD. So LeBlanc is just very difficult to play, and there's a lot of issues that she has that makes her not viable in tournament play and not viable in higher elo play. Though you will definitely see her at lower elo, because it's very easy to pub stomp with her. It's very easy to play. You just blow all of your skills on your enemy, and usually they'll just die from that, and the enemy won't really know how to respond to that. So, alright, back to the situation. As you can see, I've started out with Crystalline Flask and 5 health pots and a ward. This is my standard build if I'm up against a matchup like against Pantheon, where we're going to be consistently trading harass with each other. As you can see, whenever my Q is up, I always walk up to him and I just throw it onto him, just harass him a little bit. There is a downside to doing this. First of all, I'm automatically pushing the lane, and second of all, I'm missing out on CS. As you can see, I missed the CS on that big creep because I've been focusing on harassing Pantheon. Normally, I wouldn't. There's two different things you can do. Normally, you can either do what I'm doing right now, just harassing them, or you can focus on last hitting with your Qs. It's entirely dependent on the matchup and against the player you're playing against. If you're playing against a good player who you know that even if you harass them down, you won't be able to beat them out of lane, it's probably better for you to just focus on last hitting, because you're basically wasting your time if you do something like that. But right now, since I'm at a lower elo, I'm kind of smurfing. This is about 1800, 1900 elo. I can harass him, and I know I might be able to pick up a kill on him if he misplays. But as you can see, this build is what this item build is what you want to do when you're in a matchup where you're consistently trading. And what's going to happen right now is just we're going to keep trading until we run out of health pots, and whoever runs out of health pots first will be at a disadvantage. As you can see right now, I'm out trading him. Like, I'm getting a Q on him before he can get a spear on me. And the thing is, his spear has a shorter range than my Q does, because they increase the range on Katarina's bouncing blade. So because of that, I'm able to catch him out once in a while, and he won't be able to trade back. So right now I'm winning the trade, right? Winning the trade war at the moment. But I did use up all of my health pots, and did use up all of my Crystalline Flask and 2 health pots, and I think he's down to 1 health pot now. Yeah. So a lot of people have said, why don't you just buy like 6 or 7? I don't know how many. Let me do the math for a second. 6, I think 6. Yeah, people are like, why don't you buy 6 extra health pots instead of a Crystalline Flask? And here's the thing, if you buy 6 health pots, that basically gives you 900 health. And in order to make up that 900 health, you need to use Crystalline Flask 9 times. And I've already used it 3 times. I just need to use it 6 more times, and I'll have made up for 6 extra health pots. And on top of that, you can sell Crystalline Flask for 90 gold. So basically, as the game progresses, you'll see that I use Crystalline Flask more times than I would 6 health pots. And also, I'll sell it for 90 gold. So it's definitely worth it, much more worth it. I'll get more gold out of it by buying a Crystalline Flask than I would. Even though I don't get any benefits from the 8 mana, I still get benefits from the HP gain. So definitely a better item than just picking up flat health pots. Alright, so back to the mid. As you can see, I am definitely winning out this trade. He's out of health pots, he's out of mana. I mean, yeah, he's out of my health pots, he's out of crystalline flask, so I'm just gonna harass him. See, force the flash right there. He's out of mana, so he can't trade back. And I noticed this, so I go in on him, and he can't do anything. So because of this, I'm able to push him out of lane. I pushed him out of lane. He has to go back, and that's bullshit right there. I went in. Let's slow that down a little bit. All right, let's speed that up a little bit, and this should be here soon. I wait for my E to come up before I go in. All right, hold up. One. All right. Okay. So watch this. Go in. He's about to go in, but I get it on him, and he still doesn't. He still backs off. So I'm just like, wow, that's so dumb. Whatever. Either way, I was still successful, even though my flash is wasted. I was still successful in beating him out of lane. He got pushed out of lane. He's level 5. I'm level 6, and on top of that, he's losing all of this creep right here. In terms of EXP, he might have more CS than me, just 8 more CS, but I'm winning in terms of levels, so I have a little bit of an advantage over him at the current moment in time. Like, see, he's level 5, so he can't help out his teammates right here. He can't jump, because I was able to push him out of lane by trading with him consistently. Now, there's a lot of delicacies with Katarina. I've been having trouble with Kat lately as well, because of my playstyle. What I've currently been trying to do is putting as much pressure as I can on the map. Essentially, I'm just being so aggressive that I force the enemy jungler to come. And again, there's certain trade-offs with that. If I'm being super aggressive, then that means it's a lot more difficult for me to last hit at the same time, because I'm not using my bouncing blades to help me help me last hit. So first of all, I'm missing out on CS. And second of all, putting pressure on the map makes you a target for the enemy jungler. And so on top of that, I might get put back if the enemy jungler is successful in ganking me. Then I'm going to be losing my lane immediately, just because I've been so aggressive that I get ganked and I die. So it's a huge trade-off. But on the other hand, if I am successful in what I'm doing, even though I'll miss out on CS and be pressured by the enemy jungler, what I'm doing is, by putting pressure on the map, I force their mid lane to stay mid, and I also force their jungler to focus me. And by doing those two things, I release pressure on every single other lane. I don't have to gank other lanes. If I put pressure on the map, I basically have the attention of both the jungler and the mid lane, and so they can't. So the rest of my teammates are all perfectly fine in their own lane, because I'm putting so much pressure that they don't have they don't have to worry about the enemy mid or enemy jungler. But again, it's a big trade-off. If I don't do this well enough, then I will get ganked and I will die, and I will get set back in lane and definitely be pretty weak, and especially in team fights if I'm set behind. So it's a big risk. It's very difficult to pull off. It's a lot easier to do with Katarina because she has such high mobility, but it's still quite dangerous and quite difficult to do. Hold on, let's watch this. First blood, and we go in. They go in on me, but I do have a fort pot, so I'm trying to bait this. I'm trying to keep them here because I know that Hecarim's coming. I got my fort pot off, and so here is where it gets really annoying. He flips Lee Sin right into me, who kicks me and finishes me off. But this is perfectly fine. I think we picked up 2 kills for this, and I got an assist out of that. So definitely, it's a victory for me. I'm even further ahead of Pantheon now. Even though he still has more CS, I have more gold than he does. Let's see. Yeah, I have 300 more gold than he does, which is not even an item, but still, that's like extra health pots, even a fort pot or something ahead of him. So very nice. So back to what I was talking about. The other thing you can do, rather than putting pressure on the lane, is just being extremely passive and just farming. Usually that's not the best thing to do, but if you're against, there's 2 reasons why you want to do that. If you're against a counter pick lane, if you're against a lane where you know you cannot win, then you have no choice. You have to be passive. On the other hand, if you're playing against also if you're playing against smart, good players who know how to play this game, then yes, sometimes you might want to be passive because you know you can't beat them. You know that they'll probably outplay you or something. Why am I leaving bot? Oh, it's because I see that they're pretty low. Yeah, I remember why I came bot. Yeah, it's because they're all pretty low. I know I can pick up at least 1 kill from this. So here we go. I'm waiting. Stupid creep. I just kill him with an ignite and then I finish off Graves after this. I didn't even need Ezreal. Ezreal should have just backed off. He was basically useless during that entire skirmish. I picked up a double kill from that, so it's definitely worth it for me personally, but not worth it for Ezreal or Azira because they both died and they didn't get anything out of that. but I'm slowly snowballing. Again, I guess I should repeat what my build is now. What I prefer to build now is if I'm completely crushing my lane, I like to rush a hat first, but otherwise if I'm not crushing my lane, if I'm doing okay or we're pretty much even, then I like to build a defensive item. Since I'm against an 80 carry Pantheon who does 80 damage, I mean auto attack damage, physical damage, there you go, that's what I was looking for. Physical damage, it's better off that I would normally rush a Hourglass against an 80 carry, especially since they have Lee Sin top. Rushing an Hourglass is a very, very good idea against this team composition. But since I am doing quite well for myself, I don't really remember what I built, because I accidentally bought a blasting wand. It would have been better if I bought a chain vest first. I mean, yeah, first instead of a blasting wand. But whatever, we shall see how this goes out. But I am out leveling Pantheon, and in terms of CS, I am out CSing him. So as you can see, the trade-off worked out quite well. I was able to put enough pressure on the map and force out Pantheon. I'm not even sure. Either way, I'm beating Pantheon somehow, because I'm able to I made plays all over the map. I picked up a kill on Diana and bot lane, and I guess that's what set me so far ahead of him. So at this point in time, I don't really think I can beat him anymore. He has health pots, he has a Crystalline Flask, he has a lot of magic resist. So right now, when it gets to a point where you know you can't kill your enemy just by harassing them, like either they have too much sustain or they have too much magic resist or whatnot, you should just focus on last hitting. That's why you'll notice instead of walking up and harassing him like I usually would, I went back to try to get some EXP and gold from the Wraith camp. And I haven't reminded you guys, but remember that I'm consistently using my Crystalline Flask. I'm pretty sure I used it more than 9 times already, so I've definitely made up for the cost. Alright, so I ping this and I know that Pantheon's missed, and so instead of helping my lane out, I go and I put pressure on it. There's nothing I can do to help him. Ezreal's already dead, and I'm pretty sure that if I go, I don't have any hard CC, I'm playing Cat. So if I go, all I'm going to do essentially is just put a Q onto Pantheon, and that's it. I can't do anything. I'm not going to kill anyone, and I'm probably going to get myself killed if I go and help. And so instead, because of all the pressure I've been putting on the map, we are able to pick up I'm able to pick up a turret from that. And turret gold is about, I think, 3 kills worth of gold, I think. I'm not sure. Let me think. A turret is about like 175 gold. Multiply that by 5. Yeah, 1 turret kill is about 2 kills, basically. So basically, I made up for the fact that bot lane died with that. And on top of that, we picked up a kill off of... We picked up 2 kills, actually, because of Dragon. We baited them quite well. Because they're actually pretty low from Dragon. That's the thing with Dragoning early. If you Dragon too early, then Dragon's going to hit too hard, and you're probably going to die. Yeah, triple kill. So, Hecarim's super fed now. I'm fed as well. And that's just what you want to do. Just put a lot of pressure on the map. And do what you can. Make plays. How farmed am I? I'm not farming too well, but that's because I've been too busy trading with Pantheon. In respect to Pantheon, I am farming well. I have 25 more CS than he does. Alright. How much gold do I have now? 1900. So I'm probably going to pick up a hat, honestly. Because I know that I'm pretty fed compared to everyone else. Like, I'm out leveling everyone. Yes, I'm out leveling everyone, and I have a lot of gold compared to everyone else, right? Yeah. I have 5,000 basically. Well, the enemy hasn't even reached 4,100 yet. So this should be good. You'll notice that I don't go back and buy an item. Like, I have 2,000 gold, and yet I still don't go back and buy. Like, whenever there's open farm, free farm, and there's nothing else important to do, always take the farm. There's nothing going on. No one's taking Dragon. There's no one mid to stop me. There's no one's taking these raids. I don't have any pressure on me, and so that means I get to free farm, and that's what you want to do. You don't waste your time going back and buying an item where you can get free farm and free gold. Like, that's the main reason why I'm able to keep up and farm, even though early game I wasn't farming at all. Now I've basically caught up to my teammates and the enemy in terms of farm, just by that mindset of farming as much as you can whenever you can. By the way, you guys should watch that. That was actually pretty funny when I saw it. So Lee Sin's beating Singed. I don't know. I don't play Lee Sin or Sin, so I don't know what the matchup is. But he gets kicked in. But he gets a good exhaust in, so that reduces the damage output. And then he screws up. Alright, Alright, so he doesn't have a ward here, so because of that, he's able to go up. But I know that he can't kill Lee Sin by himself. Lee Sin's too mobile, and there's creep coming as well. So I go top and help him out. And I cut off Lee Sin. And we pick up a kill off of this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, looks like that hurt. Oh yeah, a lot of you guys are probably wondering my opinions on Diana now. I think they did a good job nerfing her. I mean, in terms of like what they nerfed of her, I think they did fine on that. But I think they did too much. In my opinion, what they should have done was reduce the damage output on Q. The base damage is way too high in my opinion. So they did that. Reduce the range of her ult. Her ult range was a little bit ridiculous. It's way too long. Dash spells should not have such a huge range, especially if they're spammable. So that was fine as well. But several things that they should not have done was her W. They nerfed her W by making it harder to land a W. And the other thing they did wrong was they reduced the range of her E. I don't think that E range reduction was necessary, honestly. I think they just nerfed her too much. They did a good job nerfing her. They just did too much. So otherwise, Diana should be fine. They just need to rebuff some points of her. Like honestly, if Diana was always like this, if she wasn't that strong in the first place, and if she always was like this, I'm pretty sure she would still be played a lot. Like it's only because it seems like she got nerfed so hard that no one plays her, but she's still in a pretty good spot because they didn't nerf her ratios at all. She still hits like a truck. She's just harder to play, and that's the thing. And that's exactly what I wanted Riot to do with Katarina, just nerf her playability. That's what they did with Diana. They didn't nerf her damage output. She still hits like a truck, but they just nerfed her playability. She's a lot harder to play now for players, and that's why you'll see that her losses. A lot of players are losing with her a lot more often. And I thought that was an enemy Ezreal. A lot of players are losing a lot more often with Diana. It's only because of her playability, and that's exactly what I wanted them to do with Kat. Like, make her harder to play. Don't make it so easy for people to play her. Either way, if you guys were watching what I just did with Lee Sin, notice how I walked in front of creep. I made sure to get. Oh, that's too bad. I made sure to get in front of creep, and because of that, Lee Sin wasn't able to land her Q on me. I'm pretty sure even if he landed that Q, I still would have killed him. But I made sure to get in front of creep so he couldn't land skill shots on me. That's how you want to play against Lee Sin. Not just Lee Sin, any kind of champion with skill shots, you always want to be behind creep, especially if you're a champion who could deal range damage like Katarina. It doesn't matter if he's behind creep. I can still hit him with my skills. So this game's a lot about positioning, and that's why I was able to kill him. Also, I fort pot baited him. He thought I was low on HP. I just popped my fort pot and I started ulting him and finished him off. Yeah, I did rush my hat first, so that's okay. Rushing hat is not great, but if you're so far ahead of the game like I am right now, it doesn't really matter how weak hat is if you rush it first, because hat scales more with the more AP you have, so it's better off to get it later in the game when you have more AP. But if you're really fed, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. But right now, my focus is picking up an Hourglass. I need more survivability. I need some armor against this team composition. Mid. Oh boy, that's not good. He has flash. Yeah, he just used it. That's not smart. He should have just let himself die. There's no way you can outrun a Singed and an Hecarim. He shouldn't have wasted his flash unless he was flashing over the wall. That's the thing. When you're using flash, don't flash like in a normal path. Flash over walls. Use your flash in places where it's difficult for your enemy to catch, regardless of what champion they're playing. If he had flashed over the wall, the only person who could catch him would be Hecarim, because only Hecarim has a skill that can go over a wall. Singed can't. So Pantheon messed up there, or he was too impatient in terms of using his flash. Notice how I just keep farming. That's all I do. If there's nothing going on the map, that's all I'm going to do is just going to farm. And as you can see, because of that, I already caught up to Graves, who has the highest CS. Like, that's how you want to do this. Just farm whenever you can, wherever you can, as long as it's not a bad. As long as there's nothing being done. And that's something that you can't figure out until you play this game a lot, where it's just like, oh, okay, I know that nothing is going to happen, so I can use this time to farm. On the other hand, you also need to know when something is going on. Like, how do you know something is going on when farming is less important than staying with your teammates? How I know that nothing's going on is because of how split everyone is. The enemy has 3 players bot and 2 players top, 1 player top actually now, and they're split. I know that they're split, and there's no reason for them to try anything. There's no objectives for them to take Dragons down. They're not grouped for Baron. They're nowhere near Baron. So that means there's no objectives being taken. They're not trying anything. So I don't need to stay with my team, and I can just focus on farming. I need to get some water. My throat is just killing me. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. Watch this. So I know I'm beating Pantheon, so I don't even need to worry about my ult. Yep. All I need to do is just wait for him just to bait out his stun. And on the other hand, even though Pantheon normally would be able to beat me out if I didn't have my ult, I'm just so fed that I can just harass him down, and I'll still beat him in a 1v1 without my ult, and as long as he doesn't use his stun. Because all I have to do is just dodge his whatever that strike is called. I'll check it out when he's alive. What is it called? Heartseeker strike? Yeah, I can just avoid it. I can either outrun it with my W spell, or I can just dodge it with my Shimpo. So I'm at an explicit advantage against the Pantheon right now. Normally, in a normal game, in a 1v1, I don't think I could beat Pantheon at all. It's just about all the farm and all the kills that I've gotten. That puts me so far ahead. And yeah, notice how I still have Crystalline Flask. I've been consistently using it, and I'm using it as much as possible to make it even more worth whatever it is right now. So definitely a lot more getting a Crystalline Flask is a lot more worth it than picking up 6 health pots. That's not smart. When you're playing support like Zero, it's very difficult for you to pick up kills on an enemy, especially against good players. First of all, they're going to dodge all your skill shots, and that's it. That's all you can do. Zero is all about skill shots. So, not a good idea. She should have backed off. But she gave him a kill because of that, and now I have to deal with both of them by myself. I messed that up. I should have W'd the creep, killed the creep quickly, and so they can't take the turret. I got an ignite on him, so finish him off. I didn't use my 4 pot. I think I might have been able to survive if I used my 4 pot. No, hourglass. There you go. It's my hourglass. I think I might have been able to survive if I had my hourglass to dodge his resonating strike when I queued Pantheon. I should immediately used it, but I think I put it on the wrong slot. Yeah, it's on my 2nd slot. I think. Weird. Maybe it doesn't show. Maybe it doesn't show. Where's my image? Here it is. Yeah, I do have it in the right slot. Okay, never mind. It doesn't show where it should be on the screen. It's weird. Rushed. Hello. Bye. Yeah, Cinch is just ridiculous. Oh. Oh yes. Some people have also have been giving me ideas as to builds. They're like, oh, you should try this. You should try this. I've actually tried all of them already. Whatever you guys have said, I've tried, except for the obvious ones that shouldn't be done. One of them is a Void Staff rush. The thing about rushing Void Staff is a good item late or mid game when the enemy starts building MR. If you rush a Void Staff, the magic resist reduction will be pointless because the enemy hasn't even built any MR yet. Like, I'm positive Diana didn't rush this Negatron Cloak. I'm not even gonna look back. I'm pretty sure she didn't rush this Negatron Cloak. And they haven't really built much MR at all. So, as you can see, he has 40-ish MR if he doesn't get his passive off. So, just from that, Void Staff is kind of useless against him. Janna too, like 44 MR. These 100 probably because of his boots and some runes and masteries or whatnot. Pantheon 100. So basically, Void Staff's only useful against 2 players. And that's only because they've been leveling up. As people level up in the game, a lot of them get passive magic resist. So this is, again, there's no point in rushing a Void Staff when your enemy doesn't have any MR in the first place. So this game is just slowly becoming, we're just being very safe. We're just slowly pushing into the inhibitor just to beat them. We're being very, very safe. We're not trying to make too many plays. We're split pushing a lot. And my teammates are making a lot of mistakes. They kept getting themselves killed and caught. This Ezreal's getting carried. Oh yeah, this part was pretty dumb. I don't know what happened. I need to slow this down actually. Hold up. What happened? Yeah, that's what happened. Alright. Okay. I shimpoed on the wrong target. It's cause of the lag I have at my house. I'm at home right now, so my internet is sketchy at times, and sometimes it spikes to 250 ping, or sometimes it just stays at 250 ping, so it's kind of unplayable at times. I thought I shimpoed onto Glyphs, but no, I actually shimpoed onto Hecarim, and I missed my W, so that's pretty dumb. I could have picked up that kill. I actually could have killed 2 people if it weren't for that. I tell him to back off because I don't have my ult. And that's one thing. When you're playing Katarina, make sure to never fight when you don't have your ult. That's your primary skill that you use in order to deal as much damage as you can in team fights. Otherwise, if all you have is Q, W, E, then you can only go in if the enemy is low on HP. And you can't go in early. Like, that's why I'm not doing anything right now. I could have gone in from behind, but I didn't because my ult's on CD. So I have to disengage because of that. This Ezreal keeps getting caught. I have my DFG. Okay, so after these 3 primary items, a defensive item, a hat, and boots, you have several options. You can pick up a Guardian's Angel, you can pick up an Abyssal Scepter, you can pick up a Deathfire Grasp, or you can pick up a Void Staff, all based on situation. So for me, what's going on right now is I'm focusing on killing Graves or Pantheon. And you notice how much HP Pantheon has? He has 3,200 HP. Because of that, I'm like, screw the Void Staff, I need % damage output from a Deathfire Grasp. So, oh yeah, perfect timing. Now you guys get to see my Deathfire Grasp in action. So I thought at this point in time, Deathfire Grasp was a lot more important. I already have Hourglass, so that's enough survivability against this team composition. And as for Void Staff, again, Void Staff's kind of useless against these guys because they don't really have that much MR yet. They don't even have an Aegis, I think. No Aegis? Yeah, that's why. If your enemy doesn't have Aegis, then if they had Aegis, I would have picked up a Void Staff, but they don't. But they didn't. That's why I picked up a Deathfire Grasp instead. So what happened here? Why Pantheon? Pantheon knows I'm waiting for him to stun him, but he's still using his stun. The thing is, I'm using my W, so it seems as though I'm using my ultimate. And that's the thing. You can cover up your ultimate with your W spell, because of the animation of the W spell. If you do it quickly enough, you can do it at the exact same time you're ulting, and it won't seem as it will seem as though you're ulting. And that's why Pantheon got baited into stunning me because he thought I was ulting him when I wasn't. Oh yeah, so it's a good habit to get into where you blow your skills, as soon as your skills are on CD, you hit your Hourglass as quickly as possible. the faster you learn to do this, the easier it will be for you to survive. By the way, I also knew that Pantheon was going to jump on me, so that's why I backed off earlier. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. Like, I knew that Pantheon was coming up. Always keep an eye on the death timers. Always watch how long it's going to take for your enemy to come up. I was keeping an eye on it, and that's why I saw Pantheon. His death timer was slowly ticking down, and he finally came up, and I was like, okay, I know he's going to ult me. There's no reason for him not to. So I backed off early, and I was able to get out of that situation. And the funny thing is, even though he spent such a long time trying to chase me, I'm the one who picked up a kill on him, so it's pretty funny. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, I should probably open. Show all chat. There we go. This game should be over pretty soon, yeah, 2 more minutes. I don't think there's really anything interesting to show you guys now. I don't think there's any more plays being made. So I'm just going to fast forward through it. If there's anything interesting, I'll slow it down. But otherwise, it's just trying to end the game passively, as safely as possible. We're not trying to make huge plays. We're just slowly pushing to victory. Because we have a pretty good late game, honestly. Ezreal's strong late, so is Singe, so is Hecarim. So we're not too worried about them getting into late game. Yeah, maybe I'll just go back a little bit so you guys can watch that. So I see Diana coming from the side. I noticed that she wants to do something, so I pick her off. Alright. I think they surrender or we just finish it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to see more, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll make sure to try to get some other games in where I'm playing against more different matchups and stuff, but it's not that easy. I can't force people to play certain champions, even though I first pick Cat and they let them counter pick me. What else? Alright, I will see you guys next time. Bye.